cyber school in the next room, so if you hear yelling, that's what it is. It's not my day. All right, so we're gonna pull a card to start this morning off to give us some insight into weekend energies, and then we'll run with that. Ooh, good morning. My father-in-law is here. Good morning, Pops. We'll start with the card pull from Fairy Forest deck, one of my favorites. Let's see what we got. Oh, hello. My Instagram. Well, you guys are gonna laugh because you have a good sense of humor. So I'm just gonna show you the card, and Jen, you're definitely gonna laugh. Oh dear, there she is. You can't make it up, seriously. All right, so I have plenty to say about this card. Instagram, here we go. It's Ragnarok. And we all know about Ragnarok, right? And just so you know, it's also number 11. So it's, basically a picture of this fire goddess setting fire to the rain kind of situation. Claudia says, put it back. So, all right, we have so much to say about this. I just can't. Let me just take a sip of coffee. I need more coffee. You guys take a sip of your coffee too. It's like one of those, it's not surprising, but it's like, oh my God, you guys. Okay, I'm going to read you from the book first, and then we'll chat. Ragnarok, destruction, ending, and final moment. There must be an ending, and it must come soon. You have stood between the forces of destruction for some time, believing that to hold on and to maintain what is seeking to end has been the strong and right thing to do. But when this card comes, it is Ragnarok, the end of the world. And while this card can speak of earth changes and cataclysms that begin with the sea and the land and the sky, it is more truly about the end of one time in your life. Because the cycle is nearing not only completion, it must end in order for the new beginning, which awaits you to be given the space it needs to enter and flourish. Everything has its time. Every tree must fall. Please know that you are neither weak nor are you a failure for letting this ending happen. Holding on is taking up all of your energy and draining you, when the finality you are hoping to avoid will actually bring you renewal, truth, and raw primal moment when you can become your own true self again. Cease exhausting yourself by holding on to what is already over. You cannot stop what seems to be destruction, but you can ready yourself to face what must be faced, to go through the hard time that will soon come, but which will bring you so much richness and so many opportunities. Let go, friend, and cease your quiet suffering. Howl, lift the sky with your cries of pain, but then sleep, and know you will return with a spirit daring, strong, and reborn. So, Vivi, you're right on time. I just started, okay? So we've pulled the card for the weekend, and it is Ragnarok, and it is the end of the world. So the fairies are not pulling punches this morning, and they would just like us to kind of start on a very to the point sort of note. So I'll tell you a little story about this card, Ragnarok. I've had this deck for about two-ish years, 2.5 years, almost 3. And when I first got this deck was when my life was starting to go into some serious upheaval. And this card came through. And this card brought with it a lot of drastic changes and a lot of endings and a lot of death. But I will tell you, from my current perspective, sitting here speaking to you, it was all so necessary and perfect in its execution once you're not in it, okay? So trust that everything that's happening right now is perfect in its execution once you are no longer in the thick of it. We have to trust that, right? So what does this mean for our weekend? It means you need to hold the high note every moment that you possibly can. And in the moments where you are unable to do that, tell someone else to hold it for you. Because this is the time when our energy needs to rise up and be stronger than this other energy, okay? Tower energy, which is Ragnarok energy, is all about creating something new by the destruction of something that once was. It's not helping, so it needs to go. And we have this, I don't know what it is inside of us that just wants to fix everything and keep everything and never waste anything and never throw anything away and never hurt anybody's feelings, right? But you can't build a brand new society that is from a place of heart-centeredness on the foundation of patriarchy and torture and bad vibes. Can't do it. We don't need to reuse any parts of this. And so, since we do not need to reuse any parts of this, we have to be brave enough to let them all go and just be and trust. Do trust falls with the universe that this is going to work out. At this point, we're already like kind of, I don't know, not even like, we didn't just start. We didn't just start, is what I'm saying. So it's not like we just began this journey together and we're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? You might think that in your head right now because shit's really hitting the fan. But my friends, we've been living in a global pandemic for like a year. You did that. You normalized it, right? So consider that anything that life throws at you at this point, you got it. But it's important to keep some perspective about what our point is. And our point is we're moving into a new Earth society. That's what we want to bring through. We don't need to fix the old one. So let them do their thing. Let all of the stuff come down. Let the tantrums happen. All of the things that need to happen in order for a revolution to take place. That's where we're living right now. It's revolutionary. I said this yesterday because the energy yesterday was really riling me up. I don't know if you noticed, but it was like a revolutionary war energy. And it's like, how do you take that energy and shift it into a higher vibration for a higher purpose? Because I don't feel, and this is very strongly, I don't feel that the answer anymore is ever going to be fighting for something. And we already have it in our current mindset that we need to fight for what's right. We've heard that before. Fight, 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 fight. I don't feel that at this time. To fight is a very, very third dimensional construct. It's very patriarchal. It's very masculine. And when I say masculine, I'm talking about the way the energy flows. All right. You think about our society right now, everything is a very masculine energy. And that is talking about the way that things flow. We break things to create things in this society, to create energy. We split things apart. We drill into the earth to get resources. It's a very violent kind of pillaging energy. And we translate that to everything because as above, so below, right? So moving into a matriarchal energy society doesn't mean like all women are in charge and the men just need to listen to us. That's actually not what it means at all. It means we're living in a different energy, in a more feminine energy, where we stay rooted and it comes to us. We attract to us and we receive. So it's just a different flow of energy and direction of energy that is different from a patriarchal society, which we're moving out of. So think about it that way. And if that's what we're heading towards, if that's what you want, fighting is the wrong energy. Because fighting is the same energy. So we need to try new things, even if that makes your brain say, but no, I need to fight and stand up for what's right. I'm not telling you not to stand up for what's right. In fact, I literally just told you a few days ago that if you see something, you need to say something. It's our responsibility to do that now. So I'm not saying to be like super passive and neutral and just be like, whatever, man, it's all good. You don't need to do that. But fighting is not going to be the answer here, and getting all caught up in that anger and outrage and all of that kind of energy, it's fighting, it's giving the same energy back to the monster, right? It doesn't work. We can look at all of our patterns up until this point and know that it doesn't work. Things only change when people in their heart centers stand up and say, we love ourselves and our fellow man enough that we are no longer going to comply with anything that feels against our true human nature. Okay? So just feel into what that means for you. How are you going to ride through Ragnarok this weekend, next week, through the month? Because January and February are fast becoming this energy. One of the reasons that it's been so wonky with doing energy readings more than a few days at a time is because we are in this wild like channel where timelines are shifting constantly. So you may start on a Monday and things are in a certain trajectory, and by Tuesday afternoon they've switched 3 times. And you will notice in your life when this happens, because there's going to be like a Schumann resonance boom. It's like maybe you have a headache. You may lose items in your home, or something you thought you said, now it's like you didn't say it. Like weird little glitches will happen. For me, I can always tell that there's been a timeline shift, and I just figured this out this week. Whenever I'm doing a live video and I can't end it, because every time that has ever happened, it has signaled a huge timeline jump and everything has changed. And when that happens, when there's that timeline jump, things will have to reshuffle. So if you had something that was in process and like all of a sudden it's dead in the water, just take a deep breath, because if we had a timeline shift, it needs to reshuffle to adjust to come back to you. And so we're in that energy right now where it's like constant do, switching. So when we started January, we knew something big was going to happen, but there were also so many other things that were possible. Now we've locked in to some Ragnarok shit. And that is good, because it's better to get it done in the first 2 months of the year than to drag it on, okay? So big energy this weekend. Take care of yourself. It's really important to give yourself rest and drink water right now. It's hard. It's very hard. But it's really important. So do what you need to do for yourself. Like I said yesterday, try to like really avoid input that is going to fuck you up. I know that sounds kind of weird, but maybe don't listen to the news for 2.5 hours at a time. Maybe catch the highlights that you need to know about for whatever reason, through Twitter or something that you can like scroll through and control, get the points, and then get out of there. Don't keep yourself in this saturation place of hearing the same loop over and over again. There's a certain amount of information every day that is being recycled over and over and over again. And when you allow yourself to get into that cycle, it kind of robs you of your ability to stay grounded and in the present moment, and it puts you in a fear state. Because it's very like, what's gonna happen? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God. And it's like 1 or 2 things, but over and over and over again. It's meant to get you into that riled up fear state. You don't need to be in a fear state at all. Truly, and I mean that deeply from my heart. You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to be in a fear state. You need to be clear-minded, right? Aware, and using your intuition. Do you feel that you need to do XYZ this weekend? Then do it. You don't have to ask anybody about it. You don't have to get confirmation from several news sources and your cousin. If you feel like you need to do something, then do it and feel good about it, right? Follow your gut and quiet the noise, because it's a lot of noise. And a lot of this stuff that's happening right now is super irrelevant to anything that we're actually supposed to be paying attention to. It's being exposed as the 12-ring circus that it is. And so we can see that, we can observe it and say, all right, well, if that's true, there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline that we're about to see. And that to me feels very exciting, because it's confirmation that the things we knew were not right are not right. So that's going to be happening. I feel like in the next, I don't know, what is today, Friday? It's the 8th. We have a new moon coming up next week. I don't know, there's some shift coming up next week where it feels like there's going to be another energy, something or other, that's going to allow us to have some more clarity on all of these things. But my main point is you don't need to freak out, and you don't need to be in a fear state. And if you are exposed to people who are making you freak out, just kind of be like, go away for a minute, because you need to stay in your center, stay grounded. Get outside as much as you can. I know it's freezing, but get outside if you can. Do some meditations, and just kind of be in the present moment and allow yourself to understand that, because you are living through one of the most pivotal moments in history. So you're going to want to remember the details. So that's what I have for you this morning. I will post this card in the Restoration Facebook group. If any of you guys were interested in joining me and some lovely ladies for the Your Body Is Not a Machine workshop, that today's the last day for enrolling. You can get $100 off if you use code MYBODY. You can click the link somewhere, and we start on Sunday. So not a distraction, but if you need something to do, would be something fun. So I hope you guys have an amazing Friday. Reach out if you need anything. If this has been helpful for you, please share. And I will see you again on Monday, 8:30. We'll see what's going on then. Mwah. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.